Somalia government position on Somaliland, allegations, history, and geopolitics. The federal government of Somalia maintains that Somaliland is an integral part of the Federal Republic of Somalia and rejects all claims of secession, foreign recognition, or separate sovereignty. According to the government, narratives portraying Somaliland as an independent state are historically selective, legally flawed, and politically motivated. Historical context and Somalia's allegation. Somalia acknowledges that the former British Somaliland Protectorate gained independence on June 26, 1960, but firmly asserts that this independence was temporary and transitional, intended solely to facilitate the voluntary unification of all Somali territories. 5 days later, on June 1, 1960, British Somaliland united with Italian Somaliland to form the Somali Republic, a union recognized internationally and legally upheld for decades. The Somali government argues that this union was legitimate under international law, and that subsequent claims that the act of union was invalid are retrospective interpretations designed to justify secession. Somalia maintains that no legal mechanism exists under African Union or United Nations frameworks that allows unilateral withdrawal from a recognized sovereign state. Rejection of the breakaway justification. The government strongly disputes the claim that Somaliland withdrew from a failed union in 1991. It asserts that the collapse of the Somali state during the Civil War did not dissolve Somalia's sovereignty or territorial integrity. According to Mogadishu, grievances arising from past authoritarian rule, while acknowledged as tragic, do not constitute legal grounds for secession. Somalia further alleges that framing Somaliland as a unique or exceptional case undermines the African Union's foundational principle of preserving colonial borders, a principle designed to prevent endless fragmentation across the continent. Allegations regarding foreign interference. The Somali government has raised serious concerns about foreign involvement in Somaliland, particularly allegations of covert security, intelligence, and diplomatic engagements with Israel, the United Arab Emirates, and other external actors. Mogadishu views these engagements as violations of Somalia's sovereignty, attempts to militarize the Horn of Africa, and efforts to exploit Somalia's internal challenges for geopolitical advantage. The government specifically objects to any foreign military or intelligence presence in Berbera, arguing that Somalia's coastline and ports fall exclusively under federal authority. Israel and regional security concerns. Somalia has condemned reports suggesting diplomatic engagement or recognition involving Israel and Somaliland, describing them as provocative acts that destabilize the region. The government alleges that such moves are driven by strategic interests related to the Red Sea, Bab el-Mandeb Strait, and broader Middle East security calculations, rather than respect for international law or Somali unity. Mogadishu also warns that turning Somaliland into a strategic outpost risks dragging Somalia into global power rivalries involving Israel, Gulf states, China, and Western alliances. African Union and international law. Somalia frequently references the African Union's consistent position that Somaliland remains part of Somalia, while acknowledging that an AU fact-finding mission in 2005 described Somaliland's situation as unique. The government emphasizes that the AU never endorsed recognition and continues to support Somalia's territorial integrity. According to Mogadishu, attempts to revive or selectively cite this report are politically motivated and ignore the AU's final position. Ethiopia and regional implications. The Somali government has also expressed alarm over reports of Ethiopian interests in Berbera and possible recognition of Somaliland. It argues that any such move would violate Somalia's sovereignty, set a dangerous regional precedent, and escalate tensions in an already fragile Horn of Africa. Somalia insists that sea access, ports, and regional trade corridors must be negotiated with the federal government, not regional administrations acting unilaterally. Somalia's core position. The federal government of Somalia maintains that Somaliland is not a sovereign state. Recognition efforts are illegal and destabilizing. Dialogue, not secession, is the only path forward. Somalia's unity is non-negotiable under international law. Somalia calls on the international community to reject unilateral recognition, respect Somalia's sovereignty, and support inclusive national dialogue aimed at reconciliation and federal cohesion. Conclusion. From the Somali government's perspective, the Somaliland issue is not a forgotten truth being revealed, but a political dispute being reframed through selective history and foreign interests. Mogadishu argues that the future of Somalia and the stability of the Horn of Africa depends on upholding international law, rejecting fragmentation, and preventing external powers from redrawing borders for strategic gain.